Hey there, sports fans. Been a little bit of a slow start for the mega-talented New York Rangers on the ice. That's where we begin our look at sports this AM. The Broadway Blue Shirts are beginning to come together, though, in the season's first month. Mika Zibanejad broke a tie in the third period. Artemi Panarin had a goal and 2 assists, and the Rangers topped the Arizona Coyotes 3-2. That win came on the heels of a victory over Dallas that snapped the 4-game losing streak. Here's more from that win over the Stars that seemed to get the Rangers going.
Yeah, started to see him go in, and that's our power play was good tonight. I think we've been good. We were getting a little bit tight and gripping our sticks a little too tight just from a couple of games not scoring, but we've been getting chances. And tonight we were able to capitalize on a couple, and then 5-on-5 we were good and capitalized on our chances. We just got to tighten up a little bit defensively. First one of the power play was just a great seam pass from Mika. Brad wasn't out there, so I just tried to find some open ice on the other side. Second one, same thing from Mika again. It was another great one-touch pass off the rush, and I just had to put it into the empty net.
That's more like it. Fordham football has been cooking this season, too, especially offensively. But like the Yankees in baseball, there's always that one team that seems to present the biggest challenge to their championship threat. For the Bombers, it's the Houston Astros. For the Rams on the gridiron, it's Holy Cross. What started as the FCS Game of the Week became the Game of the Year. Holy Cross edges Fordham 53-52 in overtime. The Crusaders use a reverse to end it in OT. Really tough road defeat for the Rams, who seemingly had the game in their pockets in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Rams signal caller Tim DeMorat finishes with 274 total yards and 6 touchdowns. We go back inside the locker room for more.
Had a lot of opportunities to put that game away. We got to execute better down the stretch, particularly in the fourth quarter, on offense and defense. Just frustrating. Kids. I'm proud of the kids. They played as hard as they can. They left it all out there. We got to do a better job as coaches, put them in a position to win football games. Yeah, these guys are great. We have great leadership. They're good boys. We have great coaching staff. We just got to do a better job of executing. We have to teach them better. We have to run better meetings. We have to get things squared away.
Gut-wrenching. Oh, what a loss. Week 8 in the National Football League was also a losing week for our New York metro area pro football teams, with the Jets and Giants coming up a bit short. We'll start with Gangrene. 13 straight losses to rival New England, with a chance to break the stranglehold the Patriots have had over their rivals. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson choked it away with a 3-interception performance that sent the Jets skidding to a 22-17 loss, and also raised questions about his long-term future as the team's franchise quarterback. Here's more.
I didn't even know it was like a streak like that, honestly. I think, it was an important game because it was the next game, you know what I mean? And that's the mentality I feel like we had. Obviously, it was a division opponent too, so, it was a little heightened, but it's important because it was the next game. And that's really it. So it is disappointing that we didn't pull it out, but, we get 2 shots at it, being that we're in the same division. So whenever that time rolls around again, we'll come back, better.
Meantime, one former Jets and Giants quarterback has found himself a home in Seattle, and he's coming back to take it to his former teams. Geno Smith threw a pair of touchdowns. Ken Walker ran for 1, and the Seahawks defense held the Giants to 225 offensive yards during a 27-13 home win for Seattle. Smith's path to the Seahawks included a 1-year stint with the Giants that saw their former head coach Ben McAdoo tab Smith as the player to end Eli Manning's run as the team's starting quarterback. Smith started a 24-17 loss to the Raiders in Week 13 of the 2017 season, and McAdoo, of course, was fired along with general manager Jerry Reese the day after that game. Smith thanked the two in the post-game win over the G-Men. We caught up with Xavier McKinney for some perspective from the Giants' end.
We always feel like we are in good shape to win the game. Something we preach all week is we know the games are going to be 60 minutes, and for us, we always, have that motto of taking them to the deep end and just playing all the way through. So no matter, how much we're down by or what the situation is in the game, we always believe that we can come back and win. Obviously, we didn't get it done today, but it is what it is. We learned from, the mistakes that we made as a team, as a unit, defensively as well, and just go back to the drawing board and be better after bye week.
Of course, now Geno Smith is actually good. On the NBA hardwood, the Nets aren't off to the hottest start. Kevin Durant discusses the team's early season struggles. Roland, check this out.
Individual defense, one-on-one defense. I think we giving up a lot of easy drives, which is putting us in scrambling situations and giving up threes. We got to be more tight on the ball on our point of attack defense, guarding the point guards, guarding the shooting guards. Feel like a lot of backcourts have been giving us problems. So we got to do a good job in interior and on the perimeter if we want to be a good team. We lost 4 games in a row. You want us to be excited about that?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, of course we're pissed. We enjoy basketball. We like to win though. So of course when we lose the game, it's going to be a somber mood in the locker room. But it'll change once we start playing some good basketball. We got a lot of basketball to be played ahead of us.
From one NBA star to one from back in the day, our latest Turn Back the Clock focuses on former Knicks standout Allan Houston. We remember Houston coming to the BX to mentor youth in the South Bronx. Hard to believe this one comes from a decade ago. Let's hop in our time machine and look back.
Knicks great Allan Houston made a career of game-saving shots, and on Wednesday afternoon in the Bronx, the former All-Star that used to light the stage that is Madison Square Garden lit the faces of those youth taking in a mini basketball clinic at Bronx Works Community Center on the Grand Concourse. This time, Houston's jumpers were more than game-savers. They were life changers.
We talk about mechanics, doing things the right way, and in life you can always do things the right way. It takes a lot of hard work to become a good shooter or good at anything, and we talk about sacrificing. What are you really willing to do and put into your goal to achieve your goal?
Organizers were delighted by his message, which included promoting life lesson terms like sacrifice, leadership, and legacy.
The kids need to see people that look like them and people that came from the places they come from go on to do wonderful things. So the fact that he came back and encouraged them to continue with their education and to keep believing in their dreams is amazing.
Bronx Works helps individuals and families improve their economic and social well-being. The youth on hand Wednesday were roughly ages 12 to 17 and seemed to really connect with Houston, now 42, and retired from playing the game he uses to teach life lessons about.
If I were to give that message to someone younger, I would use it because it's a very good explanation of life and how you go through things and how you're supposed to think of things. You're supposed to live life like happy.
And for those on hand Wednesday, Houston's jumpers were even more empowering than ever before, even if some of the youth were too young to remember Houston, the player.
He's one of my new role models after today. He inspired me. The way he looks at things, his perspective, I like that. And he interacted with us. And he was just fun to be around.
When you have a voice, when you have something that you can give back, I feel like it's an obligation, and it's something you do because you got to love it, you got to embrace it, and to be able to look at them and see what they can be.
Great memories from that event right here in the Bronx. Our BronxNet lenses always have you covered. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for an ode to the king of motor racing right now. Record-breaking Max Verstappen already is a Formula One great at 25 years old. Verstappen's incredible F1 season got better with a record-breaking victory at the Mexico Grand Prix. He had already wrapped up a points title. Now he breaks the record for the most wins in a single season with his 14th in Mexico City. F1 legend Michael Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel previously held the top mark with 13 wins in a single season. Schumacher set the mark in 2004 and Vettel tied it in 2013. His first season of total dominance has come at the relatively young age of 25 and follows a controversial first championship last season. Max silences the doubters this season with a campaign for the ages to become a double world champion. Like in other sports, it's hard to compare different eras. Despite that, I will say this: Max has impressively won races from lowly grid positions, something Vettel and Schumacher rarely did back then. Vettel won all of his 13 races in 2013 from the front row of the grid, while Schumacher won 11 of his 13 from the first 2 grid positions. Verstappen, however, has won 6 of his 14 from grid positions outside of the top 2, and 2 of those were from way back in 10th and in 14th on the grid in Hungary and Belgium. And if that's not cool enough, we just showed it, that pic of Max as a child with Schumacher seals it for me. There it is again. Max's father was an F1 driver. Seems like he was destined for greatness from the very start. That little kid just broke Schumacher's record. I'm not crying. You are. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.